cafeterias, or like we would go to like the apple orchard or wherever, and they would just have, they would have the stankest face. They would be looking us up and down and everything. So that's why I'm just saying that whole social stigma aspect of it.
Let me respond to her. So if we going by your metrics, I have a Creole father and a BOK mother. So, right. So I'm on a lighter skin, but I don't think I'm light skinned, not my opinion. My best friend is a Haitian woman. I'm sorry, she's dark skinned. Amongst YT men, she gets the most. She get approached most by YT men. Amongst BOK men, I get approached the most. Right. So at the end, if we're going by your metrics, then I say YT men prefer darker skin tone when they want the actual BOK woman, not a diluted one, right? So at the end of the day, even you're cherry picking because you're contradicting yourself, because one minute you're saying we're not desirable, oh, but I'm desirable. They want me, oh, but then, they talk about how they don't want, you're all over the place, right? You sound very red pill right now, and it makes no sense what you are saying, because at the end of the day, either they do or they don't. Yeah, then you went over to region. It sounds like, ma'am, you're just not desirable. We don't want. She told you to cam up. Let's see let's see what's going on, because it could just be you're not desirable at the end of the day, and it's okay. Not everybody is desirable to the next person, but to come on a panel and use your anecdotal evidence to say we're not desirable. Oh, but I am. I'm using my anecdotal to say that we're not. But I'm also going to use my anecdotal to say that that I am. What in the world is going on here? That makes no sense. Like, you're not. Hold on, don't come off mute. That's what you are doing. You're literally saying, I'm going to use my anecdotal evidence to say that BOK women are not desired by YT men. I'm going to go back 60-something years. I'm going to go back 60 years to make the point. I'm going to cherry pick certain situations and say, see, YT men don't want us. When Larry and I both have said, hey, there's statistics that says otherwise. Actually, statistically, YT men and Asian men both said they were willing to marry BLK women out, because the statistic was about SMEX. And when inside of the conversation, it's on pureresearch.com. They asked the YT men and the Asian men, would you marry her outside of SMEX? And both of them scored very high. When they flipped it with the YT women and the Asian women, both of them said, I was have SMEX with a BLK man, but I won't marry him. YT men and Asian men scored very high on their levels of attraction for BLK women. Now, you want us to ignore that and say, well, I've lived in this region of town. You're one person, remind you. I lived in this region of town, and I've lived in this region of town, and because nobody wanted me, and I sit in a room with YT people bashing BLK people, that makes us undesirable. Oh, but I'm racially ambiguous, and they want me.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say, ma'am.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're just listening to respond because you're upset about the message that's coming out of my mouth.
I haven't landed my plane.
No, I'm not still on mute. You finished.
Let me land my plane. Don't act like these bills.
You're mad, and now I'm responding.
Don't act like these bills.
You're mad that I'm
Stay up here.
responding
It's
now.
not your time. I have not landed my plane.
No, you did. You just mad I'm responding now.
I have not landed my plane. Stay on mute till it's your time.
Okay, really quick. So, Jasdal, finish your last point, and then she can respond. But if everyone can tap the screen, let's get to 60K.
She can go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really understand why this woman keeps trying to attack my looks. I mean, I'm honestly, I just think it's just, she's not listening to actually understand what's being said. She's just listening because she's upset that the narrative is not the narrative she wants to hear, right? Not once did I say that BLK women, that we are undesirable. Not once did I say that we are undesirable. We are very much attractive, and YT men and a lot of other groups of men find us attractive, right? But I'm saying the social stigma, that is beside attraction. That is beside attraction. So me, you thinking that I'm not physically attractive and that's why I can't, find a guy or yada, yada, yada. I have never struggled to find a man once. I'm not even going to go there. like I said, it has nothing to do with me saying that BLK women are not attractive. I'm saying the social stigma, but she's not listening because she's upset that what I'm saying goes against her narrative and her fantasy of what she wants this country to be like and what she wants white teen men to be like. Most white teen men are racist. Most white teen men have a problem with BLK people, period. That's the truth. It's been that way. What is there to argue about? What is there to argue about? What is there to argue about? It's, like I said, nothing to do with the
Let her finish, and then Jazz Dolls could respond to her.
Fantasy. That's all it is. It's fantasy, and I've said that the fantasy does not fit your narrative. All right? That's all it is. And also, someone mentioned earlier that my mom must be white. My mom is a dark-skinned African American woman, right? My mother is a dark-skinned African American woman. My father is a lighter-skinned Black Puerto Rican man. So I did come out light-skinned like him, but even his parents are Black, and his mother is dark-skinned, right? So I don't have a white tea parent. I don't know what people are saying that for. I don't have a white tea parent. I'm just coming up here and just explaining what is known throughout this country. Most white tea people are racist. Most white tea people are not checking for Black people, period. White tea women are not checking for Black BLK men like that. White tea men are not checking for BLK women like that. Because the social stigma, not because we're so ugly, but because of the social stigma that surrounds us. So if that upsets you, if the truth upsets you because it goes against your narrative and your fantasy of how you imagine white tea people to be, so be it.
Okay, I agree with what Larry just said in the comments. Feelings versus data. And what I'm trying to say is not about a fantasy, because the fantasy is BLK women are not interested in YT men like that. That's what you keep missing out. It can't be a fantasy of ours for them to want us when we're the ones that close the door on them. That makes no sense. But like Larry said in the comments, feelings over data. Your feelings is that we're not desired, and it's a social stigma. The social stigma only surrounds YT women and BLK men. They're looked at poorly. They're talked about. They're bashed. They're disowned in their community. Actually, all groups of women that bring home a BLK men are either disowned or talked about or bashed. It's not the same way for BLK women. That's what you are missing. And me and Larry have both numerous times have brought up data and even the websites where you can read this for yourself. Google is free. You're saying I'm going to go for my feelings, and because the YT men didn't want me when I was in Washington and when I was in California, that means that we're not desired. You're not making any sense right now. Hell, maybe you're not desirable because at the end of the day, I have a Creole father and a BLK mother who's dark skinned as well, same as yours, and I'm desired by all groups of men. Let's be very clear. So maybe it is just you at the end of the day, but you're going off of your feelings with no data. You have not provided nothing but your feelings, and this social stigma that does not surround BLK women. When a BLK woman goes home to a YT man and she misses his family, he doesn't get disowned. He doesn't get bashed. He doesn't end up a single father. When a YT man or a Hispanic or Asian brings home a BLK woman, when you flip that, what you're doing is you're using BLK men's situation to blanket everybody, and that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, and we're trying to explain it. You have a YT man on the panel, and both of us are giving data, and you're saying, I don't care, I don't hear that. I'm only going off of what I believe, and I'm going off of a story 60 years ago. That's your feeling. Ma'am, stop going off mute. But anyway, I'm going to land here, and you guys, I'm coming off. I'll be right back maybe in like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Plane Chaser, what do you think about the exchange between Jazz Doll and Grease?
Jim Crow is just feelings, I guess. It's feelings.
I'm talking to Plane Chaser.
I think I just watched a conversation between an intelligent person and a person that didn't meet the Richter scale. And it was just headaching. And I mean, I don't know how else to pin it. It was headaching to have to deal with, but she said a lot of good viewpoints, and the other one should go back to school.
Who's the other one, if you could be clear?
Jazz Doll.
All right, you guys, I'm currently streaming live on YouTube. If you're not able to cam up on here, come to the YouTube and I will bring you up as a guest. You could give your take and also cam up. So go to my YouTube link on my page. It should be Poetic Lady 25. You should be able to pull up my YouTube channel that I'm streaming live on right now. With that being said, let's tap the screen. We should be way above 60K by now if everyone can tap, tap, tap. Let's introduce the new guest. Wife Mom, welcome back. If you could give your age, race, and pronouns.
56, BLK, she, her.
All right, perfect. The topic right now, white teen men are first in recognizing the beauty of BLK women. True or false, and 2 points to back it up.
I am going to say false because I do believe that BLK men do see our beauty first. They come from Black women. They are raised by Black women, and I believe they see it first. But in personal experience, outside of my family, my first real compliment on my attractiveness was from a white tea man.
Wow. Love to hear more on open panel, but right now, if anybody wanted to expound on their point, go ahead and expound on your points. Also, you can rebuttal at this time. Anybody want to expound or rebuttal anything that has been said? You can go ahead now.
Yes. So, I mean, the last guest just left, so
she's still in the comments, but let's just say what we want to say.
Yeah, so there was a couple things that I wanted to say. I really feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that BLK women are very race loyal, and so that is the reason why some white teen men are afraid of approaching BLK women. I just kind of feel like white teen men have the I don't want to say this controversially, but they do hold the power. You know, they hold the power, so why would they be looked down upon for dating a BLK woman? In other cases, I feel like it's more of the white tea woman, right? The white tea woman will be looked down upon for dating a BLK man, right? And that's how I feel. Like, they hold the power. Like, it just don't make no sense to me when she made that, when she said that. And another thing I wanted to say is if she admitted that she is a light skin, I don't know if she's biracial. Because she said her father was Puerto Rican. And in my opinion, that just kind of feels like she's one of those biracials or light-skinned women that probably is put on a pedestal by BLK men. And she's probably not, she probably is attracted to white men, but they're not attracted to her like that because most of them are attracted to browner skin, darker skin women. So already I wasn't convinced of what she was saying because I'm just like, you already wouldn't really be the typical white tea man's type because again, they're more attracted when they see a darker skinned Black BLK woman or a browner skinned BLK woman. That to them is exotic, you know, not the women that BLK men find attractive, you know. So that was another thing that I couldn't agree with her on that.
Another possibility is she might be a colorist. She might think that, hey, white teen men are not attracted to pure BLK women. And when I say pure, I'm just talking about the ones that are highly melanated. She probably just thinks, hey, they're not really attracted to you guys. So she's kind of separating herself because she's multiracial. So when she says they're not attracted to BLK, she's just talking about people who have two BLK parents, not the multiracial one. So that doesn't apply to her. So she's really just speaking down on BLK women. That's what it sounds like to me. But we'll move right along. Again, I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. So definitely come and check out the YouTube, support, comment, like, as I do my first YouTube streams today. But yeah, moving right along, the panel is open if you want to expound or rebuttal anything that was said on the panel.
I would just like to expound on, my purpose on these kind of lives, as it relates to suggesting that BLK women date outside, start to date outside their race and expand their dating pool. BLK women have the lowest marriage stats, meaning that they are the least married out of all ethnic and racial groups. They also have the highest single parent rates as well, or children born out of wedlock. That doesn't mean that BLK women don't want marriage, don't want to create and raise children within marriage. For many BLK women, marriage is never extended by their men. BLK women are the most race loyal group of all ethnic groups. We do marry black men when we get married, and we have children by black men, BLK men. But so many of us are not being asked to marriage, but we are asked to be in long-term relationships with our partners, but not leading to marriage. And it's really skewing up our stats. It's really making us look bad. And many of us see that, and we're trying to do better. One way to increase the odds in getting married is to increase and add the number of marriageable men into our dating pool. Hence why BLK women are becoming more open to dating outside their race. And I land.
All right. Thank you for that, wife mom. Let's go to the next person. BLK James, if you could say BLK YT, no profanity. Welcome to the panel for the first time. If you could give your age, race, pronouns, and country. BLK James, if you could unmute your mic. Age, race, pronouns, and country.
48, Mr. USA.
All right, perfect. YT men are first in recognizing the beauty of BLK women. True or false? And 2 points to back it up.
Oh, you was talking to me? Oh. Can you repeat that one more time, please?
If you can answer the first prompt.
Yes, I would agree with that. I'll read it. YT men are the first in recognizing the beauty of BLK women. You said give you 2 points. Well, I'll just say we know our history. I'll start there. I don't got to get into detail. We know our history. And also I'll say, like, as far as the products, they know the top consumers of these beauty products. So I'll end with those two right there.
Okay. Could you expound on your point?
When we're saying recognize the beauty, right? So with our history, we already know how women was done. So it had to be some type of attraction within that. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And with the beauty products, they know who the top consumers are of these beauty products. So we're talking about the hair, the makeup, just all these cosmetics, all these products. It's a certain demographic of a woman that's making these billion-dollar industries, and most of those women, from the research, are BLK women. So I'll just keep it short with that.
Okay. Again, currently streaming live on YouTube. If you want to come up on the guest on YouTube, you cannot cam up here. You can cam up there on YouTube. But moving right along. Grease, some things were said before you dropped. Blessings had addressed you. Would you like to respond to her?
Yeah. So, I said that. Well, I mentioned it earlier. I know you said not to interact with the comments, but I mentioned earlier that it's just code. Because not one thing that I said was colorist. Not one. Not once did I come up here and say dark-skinned women are unattractive. Not once did I say monoracial black BLK women are unattractive. I said that we, in fact, are very attractive, that we, in fact, are very beautiful. And I think that we, in fact, have some of the best features. Maybe that's a little racist for me to say, but I think we have some of the best features that you can find on this planet, right? Not once did I say, oh, dark skin, brown skin, yada, yada, they're not attractive. What I said was this country has a history of anti-BLK-ness. This country has a very open prejudice against BLK people, period. Just like I mentioned earlier when I said that a lot of white tea women refuse to date out and marry BLK men for the same reason, right? So it had nothing to do with colorism. Nothing to do with colorism. They're just saying that because they're upset, once again, that the fantasy does not match the reality. The reality is most white tea people are, in fact, very much racist. They're, in fact, very much anti-BLK. And their dating, how they interact with us as BLK people reflects that. That's what I say. Not once did I say monoracial BLK people are unattractive. They can't, Blessings or whoever that was who said that, they can't name not one time where I said that on this panel. But they want to call me colorist? For what? Colorist, why? After I said that we are the most beautiful women on the planet, because we have every feature you can find on this planet, because we were the first peoples. Colorist, where? Don't start throwing names around and getting upset, because the reality of this country, the way that it's been for hundreds of years, does not reflect your fantasy. Okay? Jim Crow is not feelings. I know Jazz Doll mentioned that earlier. Oh, you're just going off feelings. Jim Crow is not feelings. Most white tea people voting for Trump was not feelings. The anti-BLK-ness that we see on a regular basis in person and online on every social media platform is not feelings. That's reality. We're seeing and hearing that with our own ears, with our own eyes and ears. Okay, but that's just reality. Yes, so it has nothing to do with colorism, Mama. It's just the truth. I never said that we as BLK women are unattractive. I never said that we as BLK people are unattractive. We are the most, I feel like, maybe that makes me racist, but I feel like we are the most attractive people. And monoracial BLK people are extremely attractive. Okay. Now, once you hear me say the opposite. So don't throw around words because you don't like the reality of this country. The reality is that your white tea zaddy, your pasta and lobster, most of them are racist, and you don't want to handle that. You don't want to accept that reality because it hurts your feelings. And when I say that most white tea people are racist, I also mean that they are also racist towards racially ambiguous BLK people or light-skinned BLK people, because I experienced a lot of racism from white tea people. A lot of it. They didn't hold any bars for me. Not to say that, light-skinned people experience the same amount of, racism as dark-skinned people, right? But they didn't try to hide their racism. So just don't throw around the word colors, because the reality does not reflect what you want this country to be. Hundreds of years of history in this country has taught us how white tea people view BLK people, period. And if that upsets you, too bad. Read a history book. Look around you, Mama.
Okay. I want to respond to that. First of all, no one says that racism does not exist. But what we're telling you is in the areas where you grew up, it might be different. So you can't say that all white tea men are racist or that we're just not wanted. And we didn't even grow up in the same area. Where I grew up in, it was mostly, I've really never even experienced racism. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. Hold on. First of all, I let you speak for like 20 minutes. Let me finish. Okay. Like I said, white tea men approach me. So I don't know how you're saying, oh, well, this is, this is not my reality. I'm telling you my reality. I'm not making this up. I'm telling you that white tea men approached me. They were the ones that was taking me on dates. Like, they spent money on me. Like, I'm just keeping it real. So the fact that you want to come on here and say, oh, white tea men is all racist. Like, have you met all white tea men? Like, maybe the parts that you grew up in, but you can't say that's all BLK women. It's experiences. And again, you are a mixed woman. You are not a black BLK woman. You're speaking on the mixed. You're speaking from a mixed woman's perspective. And another thing is, would you think that it's not racist for a BLK woman? I mean, for a BLK man, the things that they say about BLK women and how we're ratchet and ghetto and how they talk down upon us, especially on this panel. I bet you won't say nothing to those BLK men, but because it's a white tea man or whatever, now you got a problem. Like, again, it seems like you have a lot of personal issues going on, and now you're just reflecting off of issues and you're trying to make it seem like BLK women are not wanted. Like I said, it depends on where you're from and where you grew up in. That's how I feel, and I'm gonna stand on that.
I said earlier that it does depend on the region. I don't know how many times I've got to mention the same.
Literally said,
hold on, no.
Don't interrupt me.
Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I don't know how many times I have had to say this over and over and over again. Over and over and over. This is why I said earlier that a lot of y'all are not responding. You're not listening to respond. You're just responding, right? Because it's
all white men are racist.
Stop. No. Shut it down, clown.
Okay, you guys. Let's let you guys.
Did she not say
1 second. Blessings. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second, you guys. Let's tap the screen as we're listening in. I'm gonna introduce the new guest in a moment, but let's let Grease finish, and then Blessings, you can respond. Wait. So, 1 second. Anaya, go back to my YouTube. I should be able to bring you up now. So go back to YouTube, and I will bring you up as a guest on YouTube. Go ahead, Grease.
Yeah, like what she said earlier. She's like, oh, it depends on the region. I know that because I said that earlier. You were on the panel. I said while I was in Washington, and this is the issue that Jazz Doll was having. She was like, oh, well, you weren't desirable in Washington. Mama, how many times do I have to tell you that I had to beat white men off with a stick? How many times do I have to tell you that the Vietnamese men, the Asian men out there were pestering me? I already acknowledge that region can play a part. I'm saying that for the general population of white people, this is the case. Yes, in certain regions in left-leaning California, where you're from, Blessings. Yeah, you know what? That might be the case. But for the vast majority of the country, it's not like California, honey. It's not like California. Okay? I've already addressed that. I don't know how many times I have to address that. Y'all are just coming up with assumptions. Oh, they're talking about, it's region-based, and you didn't live in the region I did. I've lived all over this country. And like I said, in the Midwest, a lot of white tea people are very much sticking to themselves, right? But in some places in California, where it's a lot more left-leaning, it's different. In places in Washington, different. But that is not the majority of. And how many times do I have to? They just responded.
Okay, let's let her respond. You can respond, Blessings.
Okay, so the thing is, I'm not a liar. And before you came up here, I'm the one that brought up region, because you came up here with the same message and said all white tea men are racist and they all have the same point of view, and you're giving your point of view on how when you dated white tea men that they turned you down, and some of them talked down on BLK women. I'm the one, I don't know if you're forgetting that, sis. I'm the one that brought up the fact that where I live, it's not like that. And depending on where you live, it is different. So I don't know why you're coming on here pretending like you when you first came on here, you were saying that, oh, it depends on where you live. And repeatedly, even people in the comments agreed that you were saying that all white tea men are racist, and majority of them are racist. So I don't know if you lived in all 50 states, saying it doesn't make sense whatsoever. And like I said, I have a whole different experience from you. So am I supposed to just listen to what you're saying and be like, oh, she's right, and negate and reject all the experiences that I have had with white teen men. Like, are you serious right now? And then on top of that, you brought up politics. What does politics have to do with anything? You brought up politics. It doesn't even make sense. Like I said, this is a mixed woman. She's one of those mixed women that these BLK men have put on a pedestal and made her feel like she's everything. She's all the hot stuff because she got the 3C hair, whatever. But when the white T men don't show her that same courtesy, when they don't find her attractive because they don't see her as exotic, like because I'm biracial, like as a BLK woman, monoracial woman, I have two, okay? They come to me all the time, and I have never experienced no type of racism from. I've lived in other states too, honey. Before you bring up, I didn't just live in California. I actually live in Maryland too, which is close to DC, next to DC, Arizona. Today.
So the people in the comments, of course, they're going to agree with you, even if what you're saying is wrong, because they're tap dancing as well. They're on that white tea worship and stuff. Stop interrupting me.
You're a biracial.
I'm not a biracial. Let me address something real quick. If generationally mixed BLK people, I can also invite every single African American.
Wait, you guys, we cannot hear you when you're yelling over each other. We cannot hear you. Hold on, 1 second.
I know I said my father's Afro Puerto Rican 3 times.
1 second.
He was Puerto Rican.
You drop people. You still dropping people.
Information.
I'm dropping everyone. Y'all keep talking over me. All right. So go ahead and send your request up. We're going to do this again. If I'm talking, I need everyone to meet their mic. So there's a lot. All right, y'all can send your request up. I'm gonna let y'all back up. Let me try to figure out what. Okay. If you're streaming on YouTube with me right now, if you could just put in the comment section that you can hear. If you can hear everything, just say I can hear it, or yes, I can hear it, or something, so you know people on YouTube can actually hear me. If you can mute your mic as you're coming up. Anaya, let me know that you can hear me on YouTube. Hear me talking, let me know. All right. Everyone's mic should be muted. Grease, you're the only one that didn't mute it. Wife mom, do me a favor. Go to my YouTube, Poetic Lady 25. Let me know that you can hear everyone talking from YouTube. If you don't mind. All right. Really quick, let's introduce the new guest before we go back into that. So, Big Mama, if you can give your age, race, pronouns, and the country you're calling from.
American, she, her.
All right, let's say BLK and white tea moving forward.
I forgot, my bad.
And no profanity.
American.
Okay. Really quick, if you can answer the first prompt. White tea men are first in recognizing the beauty of BOK women, true or false, and 2 points to back it up. But before we get started, you guys, let's get to 70K. Joji, if you can check the YouTube also, let me know if you can hear me on YouTube when you go over there. And also like and comment, you guys, on YouTube. This is the first day I'm streaming on YouTube, so I appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe. Um, Black Mama, I'm sorry, Big Mama. Um, okay, go ahead. True or false, and 2 points to back it up. You can unmute your mic.
Say what's the first to recognize in the video like the UK work. I've never had that experience. I'm not in the proximity of this where it's like dating. I'm married. So yeah, I can't really answer. I was from the conversation that was being handled for the. I guess I would say disagree or false. More so because of like how white supremacy has implemented anti-blackness within society, and it's well intended. And then we may not recognize this anti-black like who's a blood quantum, who's more black, who's biracial, who's racially there's uphold white supremacy. Because in America, none of us are actually anything because we are mixed people. What makes us unique, I guess. And the second one is.
Okay, so we're still in the first one. You just give me your introduction. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up the panel.
I'll give it the 2 points, but yes, ma'am.
Okay, panel's open. What do you think about the exchange between Greece and Blessing's wife mom?
I think that it just may be a communication issue between the both because I did not hear either one say anything that I disagree with per se. I just think that maybe Blessings had heard the wrong thing, but then again, I wasn't in on the Grease feed
commentary. Okay, never mind. Yeah, because you missed her introduction. Her initial introduction was white men aren't checking for BOK women at all. Then she changed it to it depends on the region. So she's been a little backpedaling, as if you want to stand on business. So I think that's why Jazz Doll was challenging her and saying that, hey, they are attracted to us. And they're especially attracted to the larger BOK women. So that's where that whole debate started. But now she is saying that she didn't mean it that way. She knows that we are very much attractive, and she's talking more about society doesn't accept BLK and white teen men relationships. So for social acceptance, it's causing them to be reluctant. That's what initially she was saying. So that's why they're going back and forth from that.
I got it. I will say this: when you come up here on the panel, you got to stand on business. You have to know your stance, and you have to be prepared to defend it because everybody up in here be clocking what you say. So I'll just leave it at that, and I'll continue to listen and add my 2 cents in accordingly.
Okay. Thank you. 1 second, Grease. Blessings, you could go ahead and chime in.
Oh no, I got interrupted while I was talking to Blessings. She's so upset she can't even move for like a second. She called me upset. Can I talk? She said Blessings. So I want to respond to Big Mama because I don't understand what she's talking about white tea supremacy and what's considered black or not. But I'm like, are you talking about the truth? Hold on, see, she keep on
interrupting. Grease, please stay on. Everyone else, please mute. Blessings, go ahead.
Dang, she's so annoying. I can see why them white teen men did not want her. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, Big Mama, you said that we're withholding white tea supremacy by claiming
black or not, which really matters. But yeah, you're not explaining. You're not talking about how white supremacy is the same reason why we will hold the black one drop rule. You didn't bring up that point. They made up that rule, the one drop rule. Okay, I found that very interesting.
That's why I got some issue.
Wait. Let me make sure. Blessings. Make sure you land your plane. If everyone can start saying, I land my plane or something, so we'll know you're done. And I can make sure no one's talking over anyone.
Okay, I land my plane. Wait, and then I'm gonna land my plane.
Okay, go ahead. Big Mama, you could respond to her.
So the one drop rule, beloved, is the blood quantum. That is white supremacy. I did mention that how it has affected us. I did. That's it. That's all.
Okay, let's move right along. If everyone can tap. 1 second, Grease. If everyone can tap, we should be at 70K by now. Also, if you can heart me by my name right at the top, and also go to my YouTube at Poetic Lady, where I'm currently streaming live, and subscribe. And also, if you want to come up on the live stream, if you rather come up on YouTube, I can bring you up on YouTube as a guest. But let's move it right along. Grease, you wanted to respond to Blessing? Go ahead.
Yeah, so well, I was going to respond to a different things. I'm going to ask, please don't put words in my mouth, because I know what I said when I first came into the panel. I said most white people are racist. I said that. I didn't say all. I said most. It's like I said when I first came up on the panel, I said that I've dated white men. And when I also first came up on the panel, I also mentioned that white people outnumber us by so much that the smaller subset of them that are willing to date outside their race, there's plenty to go around amongst us BLK women, amongst us BLK men, because they outnumber 100 million. So not once did I say all. So please do not put words in my mouth. Don't say that I came up here and I was like, oh yeah, all the white gay men, they were racist. Because I already mentioned when I first came up here, I said that I dated white gay men. I said that there were a portion of white people.
Hold on, 1 second. 1 second. If anybody wants to see what Grease said when she first came up and see that she's not being honest, wait 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. If you want to see that she's not being honest, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Go to my YouTube. I've already uploaded the first hour of this stream, and you can just go ahead and fast forward to about the 20-minute mark, and you'll see what her introduction was when she first came up. It is uploaded on YouTube right now. Go ahead and check that out, and then come back and chime in on the comments on whether she's lying or not. Just anybody who goes to check that, just come back and say Grease is capping. Put the hats inside the comment section. So I invite everyone to just go there now. Go to my YouTube. Use a different device if you can, and go watch it. It is uploaded with the first hour of this stream with her introduction when she first came up. But go ahead, Grease. You can continue for now. Go ahead and continue your point.
Girl, please.
Wait, who you girl pleasing? Hold on. I don't want to have to drop you. I try not to drop people, but I will not tolerate disrespect. I'm only here as a host, right? Orchestrating. Hold on. I'm orchestrating this live, and what I do is I just go with what I'm hearing, right? This is no personal attack on you, and I'm not going to, be immature and argue back with you. I'm just asking you to be respectable, and you can also go to my YouTube and watch it to confirm what you have said. But for now, okay, let me reiterate, this is no personal attack. Instead, me as the host, I pay attention to what everybody says in their introduction, and your introduction was contradicting your actual message that you've been saying on the panel. So we just got to be fair here. I'm completely fair. I don't have a problem with you personally, again, but that is what you said when you first came up. Anybody can go on my YouTube and watch it right now on what you said. So we're just going to go ahead and move along. Do you want to expound on your point?
Personally, but I am saying that you have a problem with the narrative, right?
No, you don't know what I have, ma'am. You don't know what I have a problem with because you, ma'am, because now you're addressing me again. I want you to get back to the panelists because me, I don't rebuttal guests. You are a guest to me, but I will go ahead and acknowledge what you said. But I will try to treat you like a guest as long as you're being respectable. So if you want to rebuttal someone on the panel, you can go ahead, right? Or you can take a break and not say nothing and go watch yourself on my YouTube channel, what you said. It's all up to you, but I won't be discussing that any much longer. So we're going to move on. Larry, do you want to chime in on anything that you heard in the conversation so far? Okay, so you cannot use that word. You cannot use that word on the panel. Ma'am, you cannot use, okay. Okay, so she's upset. Hold on, blessings. Please don't argue with her. I have to drop her because she's saying things that can come off as racial slurs. But she's definitely showing some immaturity, and it definitely questions her character. And it's as if the real her came out on how she feels about BLK people. Maybe that's why she said that white teen men aren't checking for us because she doesn't really like us. Look at how she talked to me and to other panelists, and I was very nice to her. So go watch her on YouTube on what she said, and then see her crashing out. I should have let her crash out more, but I didn't allow it because she's not using TikTok friendly language. So if you're gonna crash out, just use TikTok friendly language while you're crashing out. Blessings, did you want to chime in? And then wife mom, what do you think about that crash out right there?
Yeah. Sorry, wife mom. Did you say wife mom?
Blessings
first?
and then wife mom.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Her hatred for BLK women officially came out. Like I said, she seems like a colorist woman. She's very colorist. That's why I said she wasn't BLK. I don't even know why she included you in this. Very angry and very upset. And the thing that gets me is that I could understand her experience, but it's like if I'm telling you my experience and what I went through and what I'm going through, white teen, how are you going to say, oh no, they're still all one way when I'm telling you that's not true? So.
And the thing is, I left it up to her. I let her talk. I didn't mute her. I didn't drop her. So she could just give hard rebuttals. Or she can say, hey, when I first came up here, I misspoke. Or, hey, that is not the context and how I meant it. He could just stood intellectually and had a debate with the panelists, okay? Because I don't debate unless I open myself to it. If you guys want to see me debate, catch me on someone else's panel, and I'm welcome to it. I love to debate. Anybody who has seen me know that I don't mind debating. I just try to make you feel welcome while you're here. Thank you, Royalty, for the gift. I definitely appreciate the support. But yeah, let's go back to this girl. What's her name? Oh, she left. I forgot her name. Greece or whatever. She just was everywhere, right? 1 minute they're not checking for us. Next minute, oh, I have to beat them out of stick. It seems like you were saying they're not checking for BLK women, but they're checking for you. That's what you said, ma'am. Really quick, wife mom, go ahead and chime in.
Now that you're on YouTube, folks better be real careful about what they say. All you were doing was telling the audience to go and listen for yourselves and make your own decisions and then debate accordingly. But given on the context, she crashed out. Sounds like you caught her and she couldn't handle it.
Crashed out. Yes, she did crash out. First crash out of the morning. Larry, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, that was wild. That's all I can say. My comment I was making about, white teen men being reluctant to approach women. Me personally, I probably would never approach a woman the way she was reacting on here. As a man, we're attracted to a woman's looks first. Beauty attracts a man. But if she has that type of an attitude, I'd walk away. I definitely walk away. I was shocked to see that coming though, because there was a lot of that. That almost seemed like it was personal instead of dealing with the facts. And I had stats I wanted to come at her with and everything. Some of it supported what she was saying about regional things, but she took things too personal. I do not believe that most of the white tea people in the United States are racist. That's again, that's my opinion. I don't have any stats to back that up, and everything that she was saying was her opinion. She was going off of her feelings. So I'll land it there.
Okay. Thank you for that, Larry. Big Mama, would you like to chime in?
Sure. I mean, I wasn't here for that part. But I actually would argue that all YT people are racist, inherently racist, because they have YT privilege and they benefit from the system of race itself, which is racism itself, that's embedded within our society, politics, hospitals, real estate. So that would be my argument. I don't know what you said, but that's not more so my opinion. I don't think that all white people are bad or mean. All of them are like actively being racist towards people. I do think that, my opinion, they're unaware, or some of them just don't know like how exactly to remove the system itself, because again, it's in our society, so it would be harder to try to reverse it or whatever. But I think that inadvertently they uphold it. And also, I would argue that Black people also uphold YT supremacy with our perceptions of each other, or like when we get mad at each other, how certain times we do use stereotypical things to describe each other, like calling a Black woman angry, which is like about not necessarily upset, but more so passionate, or really feel how she feels, because it's like an emotional stance. But also, I would still argue that when we call people coons because they have a different opinion than us, that is also anti-Blackness, because all Black people don't think alike. We're not a monolith. So that would be my argument.
Wow. Um, yeah, it's like, how are you gonna sit up here and act like you're trying to stand up for BOK people and say, hey, white men, they're really racist. But then again, you want to sit there and call your own people coons just for saying, hey, we are attractive and we are attracting white men. You're a coon. That's not even the definition of a coon. Like, if you know what that slur means, you know that it doesn't even go together. She's not making any type of sense. But right now, I want to ask everyone to tap tap tap. Also, send your request up if you want to chime in on the conversation. Um, what I'm going to start doing for my regular supporters and new people who start coming, I'm going to have to end different live streams and restart it instead of streaming for a long time, so that I can upload right away. This helps me get the videos out there more and easier on editing, because it's not such a long stream. So I would probably end it and then restart it. But right now, we're still good. Right now, we have been streaming on YouTube for this second session for 54 minutes. So with that being said, I ask everyone to tap, 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 send your request up. The Real Blue Dragon says, good morning, good morning. Sour says she was losing, so that's what you get. Tantrum. That's hilarious. I actually wanted her to come back up and expound more, but she she had to crash out, I guess. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Let's send our request up and keep the conversation going. Blessings. Would you say that white teen men prefer dating BOK women, but there's some things that have stopped that? And if you can name the things that have stopped that.
Most. Sorry, can you ask that question again?
Do you believe that white men prefer dating BOK women, but there has been some things that have stopped them from dating BOK women? And if you could give those things that have stopped them, if so.
Yes. One, I feel like it's definitely the race loyalty. You cannot date a BLK woman if she is not interested. Like most of these white tea men that I come in contact with, they will ask me, "Have you date white tea men?" And I have my group, my friends are BLK women, and when I bring up the fact that I date out or I have dated white tea men before, they are kind of disgusted. They don't a lot. They're BLK women are race loyal, so I think that plays a huge factor. But at the same time, though, I just kind of feel like the white teen man is gonna date a BLK woman if he's truly attracted to a BLK woman. He's gonna date a BLK woman. No one is gonna like it is. That's how I feel.
Wow. Thank you for that. Let me go ahead and give it to Black. I'm sorry, I'll keep saying Black. Big Mama, have you ever dated outside your race?
Yeah, but it wasn't a white tea person. I dated an
Would you ever consider dating a white tea person?
Hmm. I can't necessarily say I would or I wouldn't. I think it more so depends on that particular person and how they are. But it's not nothing I'm just like actively seeking out. I guess personally, I think it's a little bit weird when people like only date people because of their race or they seek out a particular race. Like, should you just date for people? But
Well, I don't
yeah.
think anybody implied that you have to date a particular race. I was just asking you, have you happened to come across dating a white tea person? Okay. Do you get a and so that means you've turned them down.
I don't date men.
Okay, so whatever your specific you know, sexuality is, that's fine, but what I'm saying is have you turned them down? If they approach you and you haven't dated them, is it fair to say you turned them down?
Yeah,
Okay, and did you turn them down because of their race?
I turned them down because of their gender.
Okay, so what about white tea? Okay. All right, moving right along. If everyone can tap, 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 I'd like to ask you, are you single? Are you divorced? Are you married, if you don't mind?
I'm divorced. I've been divorced for almost 5 years now.
Okay. And would you consider dating a BOK woman again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem. This is what throws some people off, and I've been accused of hating my own race, hating my mother even, because I've never dated a white tea woman. Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, BLK women, African women, and on race. And that's true. I love my mother more than anything. She brought me into this world. And, it's, yeah.
Wow, that was definitely wonderful. And do you think it's odd that people will say you hate your own race just because you're extremely attracted to BLK women?
I thought it was extremely odd, and it kind of got into um, a pretty heated discussion. And it's not that I don't find white tea women attractive. I can see beauty in every race throughout the world. I'm just like, my attraction is not, it's hard to explain it. And, I've had people try to get this out of me before. From a very young age, I can tell you the story. I was probably 7 years old. And what grade would that put me in? Like second grade, maybe? First or second grade. And there was a BLK girl that came into our class. I grew up in a predominantly white area. She was the very first BLK girl that was attending our school. And there was something about her at that age, and it can't be a fetish because my hormones are not there, right? You don't hit those until you hit puberty. So it couldn't have been some type of a fetish bringing that on. There was an attraction there. And my mom told me the story as I got older and started dating because she remembered it. She said that I came home and said that there was a girl at school that I was going to marry one day. And my mom said that, I told her that the girl's skin was darker than mine. And my mother was like, well, that's just a little. And from a very young age, my parents were supportive of this because my mom went back to, and I don't know if I can bring religion or anything into this, but my mom went back to Genesis. She said, in the beginning, God created man and woman. Goes, you remember the story? And apparently I said, yes. She's like, God didn't create a BLK man, BLK woman, BLK, or white T man, white T. And there's nothing wrong with this. That's from a very young age. That's coming from my parents. My parents were born in the South. The beginning, moved to Illinois back in the late 50s, I believe. And apparently I said yes. When I started dating, though, I did have concerns. BLK woman, BLK. My grandfather's got to be. Maybe my grandfather's acceptance of me doing that. Because that was even more of a blessing. Maybe my grandfather's, doing that. You my entire life. And
Well, thank you so much, Larry. That was so beautiful.
Where I've been my entire life.
We're gonna move right along. I'm gonna introduce some new guests. We have the real. We're gonna move right along. Blue Dragon. If you can give your age, race, pronouns, and country.
36, United States, him, and YT.
All right, perfect. Just a disclaimer: we say white T for white, BLK for black, no profanity. Those who are we say white T. I'm not sure. I'm kind of new to no profanity YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys say white and black there or not yet. So, but we'll figure it out. So white T men are first in recognizing the beauty of BLK women. But we'll figure it out. So white T men are false.
Depends on the man.
The beauty
I'm gonna be 50-50 on that. I guess it just depends on the man. Because for me, I still keep handling about myself. I'm married to a BLK woman. I'm married to her for 5 years. So, that's just what I prefer right now. She makes me happy. I'm married to her, so I mean, like I said, it just depends on the man. To be quite honest with you, that's just my opinion on it.
Okay, thank you for chiming in. I'll come back to you. There's some noise in the background, but I'll definitely come back to you. If we can tap. I'll come back to you. There's some noise. Let's go to Latte. Welcome back. When you guys come back, don't be afraid to get 80K points. Let's go to Latte. Background, because remember, every show is don't be afraid to get different listeners every day. So even though I heard it, I am, conducting a show, so you can always say it again without even putting a disclaimer, but it's up to you. Latte, if you can give age, race, and pronouns, welcome back. And conducting a show, so you can always say it again.
I'm 46. BLK. I'm in the U.S. I forgot what else. I just said sorry.
Age, race, and pronouns, and country.
Sure.
Okay. All right. First topic. White T men are first in recognizing the beauty of BLK women. True or false, and 2 points to back it up. All right.
I would say white men are first in recognizing because there's different ways of recognizing beauty, right? To eye contact, how beautiful superficially that person looks, because that's the first thing that you're going to see. However, once you start talking and discovering that you have the same goals, you have the same methods in life, then one starts clicking with the other. I just happen to find a little background about me. I share is that I've been married to a BLK man before. That was my first husband, and my second husband is white. And so I've seen both sides of both
my first husband and my second husband is white people. I just noticed that BLK women have life experience. It seems like my white man actually. However, I just noticed that. But that's just me.
All right. That indeed was groundbreaking. You guys, we need to tap and share the live. The taps have been going a little slow. Let's get into the 100K really quickly. If everyone can tap and also share the live out. Let's actually share. I haven't seen a little slow. Let's get to 100K. So let's tap and share the live out. And also share the live out. Let's actually share. I haven't seen no shares today. And also, we're ready to stand on. So let's tap and share the live out. Thank you, Blessings, for sharing. And also, we're ready to stand on business and your request up. Let's tap and share the live. Again, we're discussing today white team men are first and recognizing the duties tap and share the live out. Whether this is true or false, people are giving. Again, we're discussing today expounding on team men are first. But let's move right along. Recognizing the BLK women. Look at Latte coming up. Look at the thanks for coming up. I always appreciate when people cam up. It makes the show get a little bit. It just feels more real when we're all cammed up. I'm cammed up on YouTube, but I don't really cam here, of course, because but let's move right along. Really clearly, but look at Latte cammed up too. But moving right along, DMV with your race and pronouns in the country.
I'm in the U.S. I'm 42. I'm
cammed up on YouTube.
I'm sorry, she.
Okay, perfect. Welcome back again. I'd love to have you up here. If you can answer the first prompt and let us know whether it's true or false. If you can answer the first prompt and let us know whether it's true or false.
In a non-sexual way, that yes, white men do recognize us for being beautiful. It doesn't have anything to do with like the size of our breasts, like or of a human size of our. They're looking at us as our women as a human. So I would say yes, I do believe that.
Wow. Could you expound more?
Yes, I do believe that.
So this is just anecdotal. I have found that when I am appreciated for being beautiful in the BLK community, it is directly related to how sexy I am. It is never really just like, oh my God, just it's so amazing. Now, do other BLK women say that to me? Yes, absolutely. But BLK men are pretty much obsessed with my hair because it's pretty long, and they're pretty obsessed with your size, your thigh size, what your breasts look like, how sexy you walk. You know what I'm saying? It's so untracked. You are never just, oh my God, you have the most amazing smile. I have never ever had a BLK man, and I'm telling you, I have literally been in places that were 40% BLK. So I lived in the Dallas area. I lived in the area. I lived in the San Antonio area. So I have never had, it had big compliments on my smile by BLK. Absolutely what I'm saying. I'm out. I have never heard like, oh my God, you have the most beautiful smile. Or, oh my God, your skin is so amazing. Or you just look so, it's always, oh, you looking good, girl. It's always so sexualized. And that's why it's always by men in general. But that's always my anecdotal experience hit on me in a way that always it has sexual anecdotal experience hit on me.
Wow. That is indeed groundbreaking. Let's go to Jazz Doll. She was up here earlier, but for those who are new, let's just do that. Is indeed groundbreaking. Age, race, let's go to Jazz Doll. She was up here earlier, but for those who are new, let's just do the introduction. Age, race, pronouns, country,
America, she, her.
I definitely believe YTN is one of the first ones to acknowledge the beauty of a BLK woman, not just with her looks, but her personality and her character, and how oftentimes the only time I hear somebody praise a BLK man. And so, yes, they definitely acknowledge women coming from a skin deep and how beautiful the woman is. Acknowledge. Absolutely. Skin deep.
Okay. Definitely love to hear that. As far as
Okay.
admitting the fact that other races love to hear that. Women. But let's move on to opening up the. Well, wait one second. We have another guest. Jazz, I'm going to mute your mic. Gemini, if you can give your age.
Wait one second. We have another guest.
I'm sorry.
Jazz, I'm going to mute your mic.
And I'm in Canada, the east of the United States.
I'm 31.
Okay. And if you can expound on the first topic, true or false, and 2 points to back it up.
I absolutely believe that. And to, I guess, play off of, what some other people have said, yes, there is definitely conversation points that us and white men have similar backgrounds on. Also, I feel like a lot, at least from this is an anecdotal experience because I'm married to a white man, I've found that I've had more support with a career path and also in an emotional standpoint when I'm with my that it was a horrible experience, but I've definitely noticed that there's more support of me, investing in money or stocks or, more of an emotional standpoint of validating my feelings versus when I was with a BLK man. That was just kind of, I guess, my personal experience with it as a BLK woman. We also, I feel like, are more in tune with our culture. And we have a better grasp of kind of having others understand the BLK culture than what is presented by media.
Okay. Let's go ahead and open up the panel. If you want to respond or rebuttal anyone on the panel, now is the time.
I will. Let's go ahead and open up the panel. Somebody now is the time. This is nothing but watching worship. And that's further from the truth earlier. So if you think this is nothing but watching worship, and it's cringe for you, and that's further from the truth. Okay, women have been for the last watching worship, and it is cringe for you. What do you think crazy and watching women is not even just watching women, but all groups of women and pedestalizing them and saying they're better than us. Simply because of their skin. What do you get all the young BLK celebrity girls like Shy Jackson? All of them and be with all our lives. Look at men. And look at Zendaya. Look at the Obama daughters who all day watching men. Totally different. And they're about to get married. Not one baby has came out. Shy Jackson. So and children will get they're about to get married. Not one baby has came out. Right? So we set aside ourselves, our happiness, our life, our liberty. We set aside all those things. We got to start choosing ourselves over them. So at the end of the day, it's about what's life, our liberty. You want to build generational wealth, and you want to build a legacy for your children and for yourself, and you want to be happy. You want to be in love. You want marriage. You want a family. That's all women want that. And we shouldn't be robbed of that. Just because of marriage. You want a family. That's what all women want that. And we shouldn't be robbed of that. Just because the men of our community are cowards and nothing else. Don't commit to nothing.
Okay. I want to let you expound, but let's not say the W word. I'm not sure what the rules are with that. Also, we did not achieve the line to expound, right? So the W word, I will put it back up. But yeah, let's go ahead and give it to Levi. Levi, if you can give your age, race, and pronouns, and country, and then go ahead and give your take on the first topic. Also, we did not achieve the live goal. Levi, you can unmute your mic.
You want me to reintroduce myself?
Yes, that was a while ago. We have new people here.
Okay. 37, be okay. And I'm from Canada.
Okay, if you can answer the first prompt.
First prompt. I said earlier, first in recognizing beauty. Be okay. They're not first in recognizing beauty. They're recognizing the beauty of the be okay people. That's the only reason why now going over to be okay. I think it's more of a trend to them. So that's my take on that. Be okay. I think it's more of a trend to them.
Okay. Let's go ahead and open it up for rebuttals and expounding on your point. Pretty much anything but questionnaire. So if you want to expound, if you want to respond, if you want to rebuttal, let's go ahead and keep the conversation. Let's go ahead and open it up.
I wanted to expand on just anecdotals about my experience with white men appreciating me, whether it's my aesthetic or my education or any of my interests. I've never dated a white man. I've just really kind of never been attracted to them. But I've grown up with them. I come from a BLK. So I've been around white people all my life and have interacted with them on personal levels, not just in the classroom, but invited at their homes and all that kind of stuff. While I've never been asked to go out on a date with a white man, so I have had them approach me and ask if I've ever dated one, in that sense where you know where they're trying to go. So because I am race loyal, and there's always I needed to date, be okay. I just said, no, I never have. I'm just kind of really not interested. You kind of left it at that. So it never got any further than that. But I said earlier, I have always been complimented by my aesthetic or be up man. I'm a natural girly. I'm a dark skinned girly, little long short side. And white men have always liked my afro, my curly coil. And it was never disrespectful. White women, on the other hand, they have always hired them, but it's always come with let me touch your hair. How do you do that? It's just so fascinating. They have more of a fetish about how okay women look than men do, which I understand. And when it comes to be okay men, they don't like my natural look at all. I don't have long hair, and it's curly 4C. And I have been told by so many BLK women I need to let my hair be hair. So there goes that. But nonetheless, there is. I just think that the white men that I come in contact with, they have an appreciation for the physical appearance and for the intellect and for education and love of learning that BLK women do. I work in higher education. I get the most respect for what I know, what I do, and how I come to my thoughts and opinions from other BLK opinions. I respect amount of asking for any kind of input on projects or what have you from BLK men and white women.
is the way it is, and that's my anecdote on why I think women ought to open up where they is. Because in a lot of times, especially in work environments and in social environments, a lot of times women come in contact more with white teen men, especially if they are educated and upwardly mobile.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about the trend comment. So I think it's like lack of information why someone would believe that it's a trend to start dating BLK women now. What actually happened was this woman came out with a book that was talking about swirling. And that was like the first time that a BLK woman came out and said, hey, maybe this is something that you should try. You should open up your options. And then it was like it exploded because a man came out with a book that said, is marriage only for white teen people? In that book, he says that BLK women exclusively dating is a major reason in why they remain unmarried, why they marry down, and a lot of other things. So because those two people came out, that is for the first time in modern history that in America, BLK women were saying, hey, let's go ahead and try dating out, which became the trend. The reason why YT men are now becoming a part of what you think of the trend is because for the first time, like wife mom, they used to time. So have you ever you ever thought about it instead of having those conversations? We're now having conversations about women opening their options. So for the first time ever, IT men are able to be in relationships with BLK women without having the 90% rejection rate in our land. 90%
Wow.
rejection rate. Can I expound on what she just said?
Yes.
Ralph Richard Banks, and he's a BLK man. And he said, "Is marriage for YT?" And in the book, like she just said, the book he talks about how it is important for BLK women to open their options. And he is married to a BLK woman himself. He went on Good Morning America 2 years back. And he was interviewed by a BLK man about this book. And the BLK man got so offended. And the BLK man pretty much did his sound just like the man that come up on this panel. Because the BLK man that was on Good Morning America that was talking to him, he was like, well, I'm married to a black woman. Like they kind of had a back and forth. It wasn't aggressive. It was intellectual. But the BLK man disagreed. Now, I can't think of who the BLK man name is, but y'all should remember this. Him and the YT woman on Good Morning America got fired for having a affair. And this was the headline news all last year or year before last. And they both got fired, and now they do a podcast together. He was married to a BLK woman, was cheating on her. They got divorced, and he lost almost everything. He was fired, and now him and the YT woman has a podcast. I can't think of his name though. Like it just goes to show you that even though he was windmilling against Ralph Richard Banks on Good Morning America, he stood for nothing. It was all just talking points. And this was what they sound like he was talking about.
Can I also piggyback off of that? Is there that conversation that you had just mentioned of like him standing on nothing? Like it's like he's married to a black woman, he's with a black woman, but he cheats on a white woman. I feel like there's this invisible thought of ownership on black women to BLK women from BLK men, where it's like, the more and more we hear that they don't want us, but then when we expand outside of our preferences or, what they think, who they think we should be with, suddenly there's this ownership of like, date our women, or, I own that woman, I provide for her, I do this, I do that, but, it's like they also are, I own that woman. And I'm not saying that for every, BLK man, but I'm noticing that it's like, I don't want you, but I don't want other people to want you. And I'm not saying that for every
Now that Gemini, that what you said right there, that was indeed groundbreaking. Levi, what you think about what Gemini just said? Now that what you said right there, that was indeed groundbreaking.
I think you guys should go to Mars.
Levi, what do you think? I'm gonna drop you because you're not being serious. Levi, could you help me? Levi, could you help me out in the comments? Let me bring up a guest in a moment, but Jazz Doll, you wanted to chime in? Go ahead. Please, and also if everyone else can help get the tax up, we need to get it to 100K.
But his name was TJ Holmes. He was married to a BLK woman. He got so offended with what Ralph Richard Banks said.
Let me bring up a new guest in a moment, but Jazz Doll, you wanted to chime in?
Biracial wife with a YT woman, and then he was divorcing his biracial wife and got with a YT woman. So yes, they're saying his name in the comments. TJ Holmes and I landed. I'm sorry.
Amy Riblaw, something like that. But his name was TJ. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. We got it to 90K. Let's get it to 100K. I wanted to go to I have a question. So BLK women raise BLK white detrimental, and are BLK women waking up to that? What's your thought?
If you actually just biracial white and one, if you are a BLK woman, statistically you're more likely to be in a relationship. If anybody didn't believe what I was saying. So let's say as a single BLK woman to the middle class, you are more likely to be if you are in a got it to 90K, let's get it to 100K. I wanted to go on the planet where DMV. I have a question. So you are exclusive on the planet where instead of BLK women relationship in our lives, race relationship as detrimental and our lives. BLK women waking up to our credit as well. It takes away from our life planning when we're talking about cashing out our 401k and planning for our retirement. Statistically, we become more irresponsible. Statistically, our lives become more stressful. And as a matter of fact, you are in a relationship with a woman because we exclusively you are. So let's say as a single BLK woman out of poverty as a single mother, you are more likely to marry a woman or a woman in a long-term relationship. If that doesn't say that our counterparts are literally dragging us to the gutter, then I don't know who is.
Wow. That indeed was groundbreaking. Larry, what do you think about what DMV just said? If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say something. I don't want to get into politics, but I do believe that our government has been structured the Medicaid system to provide single motherhood in this country in a way that it has impacted not only the BLK family, but also the YT and any other. And I say this coming from experience because when I was younger, there was a period of time where my family needed food stamps. And we could not get them because I was married to my wife living in the house. Now, they came out and said if we were not living together, we would have been able to get food stamps for my being in a relationship, enriching our lives. Being in a relationship actually takes from our lives financially. Our government, in a way, has made it lucrative, if I want to use that term. It takes away from our credit as well, and it takes away from our life planning when we're talking about cashing out our 401. I may not agree with me on that, but I
and what does this have to do with DMV? For listeners, let's just clarify. What does this have to do with what DMV said?
Statistics. I was talking about it being easier for a woman on her own. Become more irresponsible. Statistically, our lives become more stressful in our lives.
said it would be better for a woman on her own as far as BOK women. Statistically from them dating BOK men, they usually make it better on their own.
Right, and what I'm saying is that it's been this whole support system, and I'm not against the public aid system, but they have made it where it's much easier for a single woman to get that type of support because she mentioned being evicted or something. Or did I miss something?
Yeah, she mentioned eviction. That so there's a stat going out that a lot of red pillars love to talk about BOK women are the highest in eviction, but they leave out the part that they're usually in a relationship and they usually have a man living there that's not married to them. So that's what she was pointing out.
What is that reason for there's a man there? If she didn't have the man there, would they be evicting her?
Well, that's going a whole different direction, but I guess we'll talk about it for a little bit. Who said that they're evicting her because they had a man there? Who said that these people were on public housing? It seems like you're assuming that they're on public housing.
Was talking about it being easier
Larry,
for a woman.
respond?
Okay, I thought you were asking.
No, that was directed to you.
I thought DMV said that
She said it would be better
were,
for a woman
if there was a man, they would be
on
evicted.
her own as far as
And I'm not saying it's public housing. Are they being evicted because there's a man in the house?
Well, why would they be
statistically from
man and a half
dating
BOK with that?
men, they usually
Well, I'm not saying that there's I'm all for it, but
on their
I'm trying to understand why.
What I'm saying is
why is somebody being evicted?
it's been
Does she have a record?
So I guess her point is it was harder for the woman to keep the place, and she's actually with a partner. So I think
it was harder for the woman to keep the place,
even though
and
this
she's actually with a partner.
relationship,
So I think her
even
point was she was
she's not
articulating that
save her place.
even though this woman has
That's
this place,
more.
she's
And
in a
why would
relationship,
she need it?
even
Why would
she's
he
not
want
able
it
to help
because
save
he's
her
there?
place?
I wasn't really.
I think that's more. And why would
That's my question. If she's
why
able
would
to
anyone
evict place on her
because
own,
he's there? That wasn't really
and then a man coming into the picture,
question.
she's no longer able to afford it. Then he has to stop doing his job. Is that?
Yeah, that was her
Then a man
point.
coming into the
Okay,
picture
I'm
is no longer able to afford it. That man's not stepping up and doing
I'm
his
sorry,
job.
I'm a provider.
Men need to step up. I'm sorry, I'm a provider.
That's
The way I look at
really
things
throw
is
some
men need
people off
to
and everything. I
do their
could
job
care less about
and be the provider.
education. And that's just the age that I'm at right now in life and where I am.
Probably throw some people off and everything. I could really care less about
If you
someone's education.
with a man,
That's just the age that I'm at right now.
and so
in my life
when
and where
you're
I am.
wanting, and that man is wanting you to support it,
If you get with a man
it's not your man. Why
as a
someone else?
woman and you're wanting, and that man is wanting you to support it,
Now we're getting to the point that she was making.
he's not your man.
Okay, moving right along. Wife mom, you wanted to chime in. We'll go wife mom, jazz dog, and
Now we're getting to the point that she was making. Okay, moving right along. Wife mom, you wanted to chime in with the wife mom, the jazz dog, and then I'll introduce some guests.
Wait, hold on. I want to clarify something else. DMV never mentioned that these women who were evicted were in public housing, that they were getting.
Hold on, I want to clarify something else. DMV never mentioned that these women who were evicted were in public housing.
Evicted, according to stats, they were actually in a relationship. And she was making the point that, hey, these women are being evicted. They're not really elevating in the relationship. Instead of
they were actually
down.
in
Also, the
relationship.
reflection that BOK women are always getting evicted, but they leave out the point that a lot of times there was a man.
These women are being
Also,
they're not really elevating in the relationship.
on the lease or not. She was in a relationship and she had a man there. So I don't know why
Down. Also, the reflection that
that
women are always getting evicted.
they associated that with public assistance and food stamps because she didn't mention anything about that. But wife mom, go ahead and chime in.
Residing in that house.
Yeah, I wasn't even going that direction. I was going.
No, I'm giving the disclaimer because of what Larry was saying initially, but he realized that that's not what she was saying,
and she had
but
it
no,
down
men
there.
should
So
be
I don't know
okay.
why
So
it
we
got a
cleared
little
that up.
bit
So I'm just clearing that up moving
that
as we continue the discussion.
I just wanted to say about being a single
this has
mom
nothing to do with
actually coming out of poverty
to say about
without being able to
single moms
in a relationship.
out of poverty
Single moms have support.
without being married or
And truthfully, when they're not on public assistance, they
in a
do
relationship.
better if they don't have a man attached to them. Because if they're not on public assistance, they
Single moms have
some
support
education. They do tend to have decent employment, and they can better themselves through education. So marrying as a single parent,
public assistance. They could be much better if they don't have
a man at least at your level.
not on public assistance. They
And I'm gonna stand on that because I was
have some education. They
and
tend
I wasn't
some
prior to having my child, and I did much better financially.
Go ahead, wife, mom. So I think someone accidentally muted you.
Accidentally, huh? As a single mom, I wasn't in poverty prior to being a mom, and I definitely did better financially after becoming a mom. And when I married, I did not marry down. I married someone with better education, better job, better benefits, better everything.
I married
11 years after I became a mom, and was a BLK
job, better benefits, better everything. 11 years after I became a mom, and he was a BLK man before anybody said anything. Or he is rather a BLK man before he said anything. So yes, I just want to see that on that.
He was misunderstood. This whole notion
Okay,
of
so I'm responding to Larry because I didn't agree with nothing that he said. Even if he was
most
misunderstood.
likely the reason why
This whole notion of the government is trying to make it
kicked out of the home because how the government works is if there's an able-bodied man there,
for single mothers is just not true.
what they're trying to do is to
Most likely the reason why your
on them.
wife was kicked off of
This whole
out of the home because how the government works is if there's an able-bodied man,
if there's an able-bodied man in the home,
what do you need?
why isn't he the provider?
So what they're trying to
Keep you off the program. Nobody's ever going to kick somebody out the home because the government doesn't do housing unless you're talking about Section 8 or something. But nowadays, apartment complex has to work with Section 8, right? So at the end of the day, that's an old red pill BLK podcast man talking about, oh, welfare took the BLK man up the home. And now I guess now all men are using that same, no, that's just not true. In reality, if there's an able-bodied man on that was in the house, it would be the able-bodied man in the home. Why is it he provider? What the government doesn't do housing? Why he apartment complex has to work with nobody able-bodied man on to get a job. We gotta stop it. That if they don't have a job, and they trying to use the system on welfare, and they trying to use the system and the government being kicked off programs because they got some sorry lazy ass dude that got
All right, let me introduce our new guest, but I just want to highlight a couple things. One second, Larry. I just want to highlight a couple things and then introduce our new guest, and then we'll let Larry go. So again, not all BOK women are on public assistance.
like a couple things and
Not all BOK women, when I say public assistance, I mean housing or food stamps, etc. Not all BOK women who've been evicted were using that. Neither
women, when I say public assistance, I mean housing.
had a man in the house and they were using housing. That is a good point. And that's what I was highlighting in the beginning. And that's all just
food stamps, etc. Not all BOK
half of the
women
time,
evicted were
these
using
women, far as what Larry was saying, you can get food stamps and have a 2-parent household. There's married people who get food stamps. It's all based on income. It's not based on marriage. It doesn't say, hey, if you're married, it doesn't apply. It's based on income. So if you guys were making too much to qualify for it, then that's because you were making too much. Same thing for single people. Sometimes single people, they can't get it. I myself, I can't get it. I'm single and I can't get it. They say my income doesn't qualify. And I'm not rich at all. So they have a very low um standard for how you're making too much. But that's a whole nother topic. I kind of don't want us to continue talking about this, but I do think it's important to throw away that women stereotype also that these women are getting evicted and their own housing. And it has nothing to do with a relationship. It's just another bad face to put on their own that they're always in a relationship was the point that just another bad face to put on the okay women that they're always getting. This person, digital girl, act like come up was the wrong way. So Larry, you can go ahead and this person, digital girl, act like they wanted to come up. So Larry, you can go ahead and
I remember this country, I was in the military. I got into the military, this was in the early 90s. And somebody in the comments mentioned that they changed the law. We were married in the early 90s. And somebody in the comments mentioned that they changed the law. My wife was the only one married. I was the only car, I was trained at home. I was to apply for food stamps. I was denied food stamps. Now, my sister-in-law, who was single with 3 children, had a home, and a car girlfriend, had a home to do it. And a car sitting across from me was able to do it. When I was applying, told me sitting across from me, wife and I were not within the same home. He could apply for these food stamps. Wife and I were not within the same home. I moved out of the house and stayed with my parents for a while so she could get stuff while I looked for a time. Why I said that. You know, that was the time that I moved out of the house. I was in my early 20s. I got married when I was 20. She could get stuff while I looked for a job. So, you know, that was the time in my life to go. Again, I was in my early 20s. I got married when I was 20. And again, I apologize for assuming that, you know, I came in at the end of the discussion earlier, and I said what I did. But I'll step back down now.
So you can I respond to that really quick?
Wait, really quick. I'm about to introduce the new guest. Big Baja Blast, if you give your age, race, and point, and also the country you're in, and then answer the first prompt. True or false, and 50 points. I am streaming live on YouTube. If you're here, please like and comment so I know you came by on YouTube. Go ahead. Also the country you're in. And
right, so my name is Rich. Just so you guys know, my age is 47. I am a YT male, he, him, and I'm in the United States. And as far as the prompt question, let's pause. Let me see. I think it said
so.
YT
men are first in recognizing the.
I can tell you that as a YT man, it said something to African American women, BOK women. I treat them the way that I was taught to treat women. So if that's the answer, yes. You know, it doesn't matter who I'm with. I'm going to take my responsibility serious and make sure she's taking care of the mind part, the mental part, and the physical part. So it's kind of a 3-step process.
Okay, so you said that you are a YT man that do date BOK women. Could you expound on that? Do date BOK women.
I know who I am, and I know it takes a certain woman to handle me where I'm at. So I date where I know I can grow. That you know, I can be held accountable, I can hold accountable, and then we can grow together. You know, I'm not one of those kind of guys that says, "Well, I pay all the bills, so I should get all this type of flex." Because I think a man has a role when he comes out to do what he needs to do. You know, as far as that goes, again, you know, I'm attracted to who I'm attracted to. You know, people buy certain cars because that's their brand. People do certain things, and that's where they like to do or they like to go. And so, again, for you to grow, you got to surround yourself with the right people, and that goes in dating as well.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Jazz Doll. You wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I was responding to Larry. Here's a problem. If you to Larry, as well, why would you take advice? Here's a problem. If you in the footsteps of the supply and a woman is functionally applied as well, why would you take advice from her? You were able-bodied. That's why your wife and you did not qualify. You were able-bodied. But then you said you moved out the home. Once you moved out the home, that told them that your wife was a single woman. So that's why she was able to get it in. I guarantee you, when you moved out the home and you went and applied for yourself, you would have got it yourself with this conversation. Like the government trying to step in and help where y'all are lacking. And it's okay to acknowledge that, but you gotta understand who you're talking about. You didn't hear that from the actual official.
Okay, we're gonna move on, get back to the topic, and I want to throw something out there. Outside.
One thing.
Okay, we're gonna move on, get back to the topic, and I want to throw something out there.
One thing. The advice of the woman sitting across the discussion on this now. It wasn't somebody else who was applying.
All right, you guys. Outside influences have tried to convince white tea men BOK women aren't good. All right, you guys. Rich, do you think this is true or false? Have trying to convince white tea men BOK women aren't good.
Can you read it to me real quick?
Rich, do you think this is true or false? Outside influences have tried to convince white men BOK women aren't good.
Can you read it to me one more time? I'm sorry.
Outside
I agree with that. I agree with that, but I think that's a lot of times the topic because that's what we're talking about. I agree with that. But I think that's a lot of times the state of the topic. That's the conversation, and that's 4 or 5. That's 4 or 5. The feisty, the angry, the bitter, it gets restless. You put anybody to come out of a situation. That's a conversation, and that's 4 or 5. That's 4 or 5 to back it up. Anybody come out of a situation, you would have to do the same as well. And BLK women are given less than any other woman or any other race out there, right? So of course they have to come out. They have to come out. They have to do what they do. That's why they'll have to reach out.
Wow, that was groundbreaking, Ricky. Let's go to the latte. Same question. Everyone can answer. We'll go latte, Jazz Doll, Larry, DMV, wife, mom, blessings, Gemini. When it's your turn, if you could please speak. Outside influences have tried to convince white men BOK women aren't good. True or false?
I definitely believe that's true, specifically from our own men. And that's the sad part about it. It's kind of like with BMs and BWs, we have in general, I'm speaking in general, that we have an abusive relationship going on here where I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to want you either. That's an abusive type of situation. And with all these red pillars and these misogynist men going on talking about because BW most likely have standards that they can't be reached. We'll hear BMs talking about, oh, well, you need to lower your standards if that's what you want. And like, no one should be lowering standards to be with somebody. Like, if you have standards, there's somebody out there that will exceed your standards. And I think that the first thing a BM will say is, well, you need to pick better. You need to pick better. You know what I mean? You're picking these bums, you're picking these guys that don't like you or whatever, and you need to pick better. When we go, I don't know, I'm saying Mexican. Maybe I can say Mexican. Which might be a white or Asian or whatever. When we pick better for us, then there's a problem with that. Like, I think that, those are signs of abuse. So, what I'm saying is that with the BWs publicly, is a trend. A trend with white men dating BWs. No, the trend is BMs dumping on BWs and explaining why we're not lovable, we're not this, why we're not that, and then at the same time talking about we COONS when we date somebody else. It's great. And I'll land.
Somebody else. It's really crazy.
Yeah, I agree with her. She took it right out my mouth.
I agree with her. She took it right out my mouth. It definitely comes from inside. The phone calls come from the inside from our own men.
In society, they have
They put the most from day one in society. They have always conditioned the BLK woman to believe that these white men are going to alive us.
You're a if you know what I mean, and you're all these
You're a big inch, if you know what I mean. You're all these, look at how they do Serena and how they do